Well guys, considering that Daredevil Season 2 just came out today, I have decided that I'm going to be reviewing Daredevil Season 1 before I get started with Season 2. Okay, so, little thing about me that you guys are probably gonna hate about me. I actually enjoyed 2003's Daredevil. I was a kid when I saw it, but I enjoyed it a lot. I just really liked the character. After the Spider-Man movie, I was just really into superheroes, and knowing that we were gonna get more superhero movies, I was just like excited in general. And when I saw that movie for the first time, I enjoyed it, and it was so different because it involved a blind superhero. Now, me as an adult, I understand that that movie has problems. It actually has a lot of problems, but I still liked the character Daredevil. And when I heard that they were making a Daredevil Netflix show centered in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I was pumped because Marvel is so good when portraying their characters on the big screen, or small screen in this case. And they did such a great job with this show. This show is so much better than the 2003 film. And it's like, you know, you wouldn't expect like a television show to be better than a movie. And it was. This just took a lot of the factors out of the 2003 film, and they just, it made it better. They made it better, and they made the character better, and they actually put a lot more depth into the show. I loved Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil. Even when he wasn't Daredevil, he was just like such a likable character as Matt Murdock. Even though he's like blind, he's kind of like a ladies' man because he's kind of a gentleman, and I actually like that factor of him. And him as Daredevil, it was like so good. It was such an amazing representation of Daredevil. In the movie, and I know I shouldn't be comparing the show to the movie because, like, you know, I should just be talking about the show itself, but I feel as though I need to talk about this. In the movie, Daredevil had no problems with people, like, being killed. He was okay with leaving people to die. Whereas in the show, he's a hero. He recognizes that he has a problem with fighting, and he almost has an addiction with it, and he approaches a priest about it, but he doesn't kill, because he believes in justice and law. But he's also noteworthy that there are some things in the justice system that he, as a lawyer, cannot solve. And that's why he portrays himself as Daredevil sometimes. I also love Foggy Nelson in the show. First minute I saw him in the show, I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to enjoy this whatsoever. Because at first, to me, it was kind of the cliche sidekick. But as the show progressed, I liked Foggy a lot. I could not believe how much my opinion of Foggy changed. He's just a fun-loving guy, and you begin to respect him in the show. I also enjoyed the character Karen in the show too, and her subplots that were involved in the show. Usually when I'm watching a television show and I'm focused on the main plot of the series, when it cuts to a certain subplot in a show, I'm always annoyed because I'm always like, come on, go back to the main thing we were focused on. But when it focused on Karen and her subplots, I really enjoyed them a lot because we actually got to know a little bit more about her relationship with Ben Urich, and this investigation behind Wilson Fisk. And by God, let's talk about Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin. That guy is scary. Never have I seen a character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that was just so scary, so terrifying, yet I understood where he was coming from. That's another thing I liked about the show too. Not only did it focus on Daredevil, what Daredevil was doing at that moment, and the origins of Daredevil, it actually showed flashbacks to the Kingpin himself. And you kind of understood where he was coming from, and even though he was a scary character and you didn't necessarily agree with some of the stuff that he was doing, you understood. That is a perfect villain. Another thing that I liked about the show is the choreography. The choreography is so freaking good. And I love how realistic the choreography is in the show, because in 2003's Daredevil film, just because he was blind and he had superhuman hearing and superhuman like senses, doesn't mean he can jump from a building and survive. That doesn't give you superhuman abilities. It was just such a realistic take on Daredevil, and there's actually a specific scene in episode 2 that everybody was talking about on the internet. It's a hallway scene that runs from 2 to 3 minutes, and it's one shot. And it is so realistic, you feel tired afterwards, and I myself was panting. Like, I was just, I believe the scene took like 12 takes. It was that hard. One thing I want to talk about, and this is kind of a spoiler, not necessarily, it's about the suit, basically. I got so used to the black suit that we saw throughout the show that when we finally got to the Daredevil suit at the end of the show, I kind of chuckled a little bit. I don't know, maybe it was because it reminded me of the 2003 Daredevil, I'm not entirely sure. but looking back at it, like just forgetting like the black suit and just focusing on the suit is actually really cool. It's pretty accurate for the most part, and it doesn't have like a DD emblem, but still, it's pretty cool. And here's another spoiler that I want to talk about too, and it's Daredevil's mentor, Styx. Now, in the 2003 film, I know I keep talking about the 2003 film, we are to believe that Daredevil trained himself as a kid. No! But he's actually somewhat adopted by this guy named Styx, which was in the comics, and he's trained to be a fighter. He's trained to use his senses, and that was a good add-on to the show that the movie didn't have. And Styx is also part of this certain organization that is from the comics. I won't get into that really, but I really enjoyed that aspect of that certain episode, and I want to see more of that in Season 2. So yes, guys, that was my review of Daredevil Season 1. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really wanted to talk about it, and I really wanted to get my thoughts out on Season 1 before I review Season 2. Yeah, that's right. I'm reviewing Season 2. Which is why I'm gonna go watch the show now. Thank you guys so much. I am Corbin Stuckey, and this is Pixel Talk. I'm gonna go live Season 2 now. Daredevil.